Welcome everyone to the groundbreaking ceremony for the new National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency West facility. I'm Kevin Ondahl, a member of the next NGA West program team. It is my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for today's historic event. Before we start this morning, let's recognize the distinguished visitors who are with us today, all of whom play key roles in supporting and facilitating the NGA vision here in North St. Louis. Please hold your applause until we've recognized all of our special guests. Vice Admiral Robert D. Sharp, Director of the National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency. Missouri Governor Michael L. Parson. The Honorable Joseph Mcguire, Acting Director of National Intelligence. The Honorable Roy Blunt, United States Senator for Missouri. The Honorable William Lacey Clay, United States Representative for Missouri. The Honorable Adam Schiff, Chairman of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Missouri State Senator Jamila Nasheed. Missouri State Senator Carla May. Missouri State Representative Stephen Roberts. Mayor of the City of St. Louis, Lyda Crewson. Lieutenant General Todd Semonite, Commanding General, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. We also extend a warm welcome to St. Louis County Executive Dr. Sam Page, Alderman Lewis Reed, President of the Board of Aldermen for the City of St. Louis, former St. Louis Mayor Francis Slay, former NGA Directors Mr. Robert Cadillo and Ms. Letitia Long, and Mr. Scott Whitkop, President and Chief Operating Officer of McCarthy Holdings. Please note that Senator Josh Hawley and Representative Ann Wagner will not be joining us today, but they do send their greetings. Today, our national anthem will be sung by the NGA Campus West Choir, followed by presentation of the colors by the NGA Police Honor Guard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran by, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
NGA has played a key role in ensuring our nation's security for decades. Anyone who sails a U.S. ship, flies an American aircraft, makes policy decisions, deploys in combat overseas, responds to natural disasters, or even uses a cell phone relies on NGA. NGA serves as our nation's eyes around the world, creating and sustaining a robust geospatial capability that supports these critically important capabilities. For more than 70 years, NGA has been conducting its critical mission right here in the city of St. Louis at our current 2nd Street facility. With nearly 1/3 of the agency's workforce, NGA West executes a range of pivotal activities, including aeronautical analysis, counterterrorism, counterproliferation, and global navigation. However, as technology and capabilities are in a constant state of change, the infrastructure supporting them must also evolve as well. The City of St. Louis has played a pivotal role in ensuring we have the space we need to grow and evolve the very important mission of this agency. Throughout the last year, the city has worked tirelessly to turn these city blocks into 97 shovel-ready acres. The Army Corps of Engineers will lead the transformation of this space in coordination with the McCarthy-HIT Partnership, into a bustling campus consisting of 712,000 square feet of state-of-the-art office space, parking garages, visitor center, and support facilities. All of it connected with state-of-the-art cutting-edge wireless information technology. And one more important attribute, NGA West will be constructed to meet leadership in energy and environmental design silver standards for environmental sustainability. This new building will significantly improve NGA's current and future mission productivity, flexibility, operational efficiency, and security. Additionally, it provides a secure and remarkably flexible environment for the NGA workforce here in the St. Louis metro area. We are excited to be the anchor of this growing hub of industry's geospatial innovation. Our first speaker is Vice Admiral Robert Sharp, United States Navy Director of the National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency.
Good morning to everybody. Just what a great day here today. It is great to look out here and see all these faces. We're here to celebrate groundbreaking for NGA's new campus in St. Louis. This is going to be a cutting-edge GEOINT facility nestled into one of the world's most innovative and active geospatial communities. This groundbreaking is a testament to the thoughtful planning and hard work of so many partners in St. Louis area, Missouri, DC, and more, many of you sitting here with us today. So I want to start with some thank yous. First and foremost, to our new neighbors. We are excited to be here, and we look forward to building meaningful, lasting connections to the community, relationships that will contribute to the community and help it thrive. To our government leaders in Congress, Governors Nixon and Parson, Mayors Slay and Cruson, other city and state officials, the Army Corps of Engineers, and McCarthy-HIT. Without your hard work and dedication to this project, we wouldn't be here today. We would not be here today. Finally, to our NGA teammates and all of our NGA supporters in the region and beyond who laid the groundwork for turning our ideas and our dreams into reality. Former Director Long for her vision of what the agency could become here in St. Louis. Former Director Cardillo for guiding that vision to fruition and selecting this site. And Acting Director of National Intelligence Joe Mcguire, former Directors of National Intelligence James Clapper and Dan Coates for supporting our efforts and ensuring we had the resources to succeed. We've come a long way since 2016 when NGA announced it would build a new campus here in North St. Louis. We knew we needed to refocus on our strengths here in St. Louis. Our agency's single greatest strength has always been our people and our partnerships. Partnerships help NGA achieve its mission of providing world-class geospatial intelligence to U.S. service members and leaders around the globe. We're grateful to our partners across the region and in Congress. We're indebted to the people of this community, this city, and this region for your sacrifice and support, and we're honored to be a part of the St. Louis family. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter for NGA in St. Louis. This new facility will be purposely built to encourage partner interaction with collaborative, innovative spaces. Spaces that will facilitate information sharing and collaboration among NGAs in St. Louis's talented innovators and will allow us to be more effective in solving hard problems together for our nation and for our communities. The enthusiasm and excitement for the development of a geospatial ecosystem in St. Louis has simply been palpable. The new NGA campus won't open until 2025, but I tell you, the spirit of this project is already alive and pushing NGA in the St. Louis region forward. I can see it in the enthusiastic crowds at venues throughout the region. I can see it in my conversations with the region's industry and academic leaders. I can see it in the spaces dedicated to furthering geospatial sciences and technology in St. Louis's innovation centers and institutions. Now, NGA has been proud to call St. Louis home for the past 70 years. And we're thank you, 70 years, right? And we are extremely excited to see what NGA's people and partners in St. Louis region can accomplish together, today, tomorrow, and for decades to come. NGA exists to show the way for our nation. And we can think of no better place to do that right here in the Show Me state of Missouri. So we're looking forward to doing great things together. God bless and thank you.
Thank you, Director Sharp. Now, please welcome the Governor of the State of Missouri, Mike Parson.
Thank you very much, and good morning to everyone here. What an exciting day for St. Louis and for the entire state of Missouri. Admiral, welcome aboard here in Missouri on that. Great to have you here today, and appreciate you so much in your comments up there. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Missouri is 15th in the United States of people that have served our country in the United States of America. And one thing I want you to know is how patriotic this state is, and once for us that have served and we've been discharged, that service still continues here in Missouri. And I'm awful proud of the men and women that served here in this state. And we're going to be backing you guys 100%, and thank you for what you do, keeping us safe every day in our country. I appreciate that. It's great to be here today to celebrate this milestone. We honored that a national agency like the NGA has chosen to build on its 70-year history here in our state and grow within the strong geospatial community of St. Louis. For the last 70 years, NGA has employed some of the St. Louis region's brightest and most talented to serve in our nation's defense. This would not be possible without the connections, the hard work, and the good faith of NGA and partners in St. Louis and the state of Missouri. The geospatial industry has a major impact on our economy and continues to grow in the St. Louis region. Local universities, technology incubators are opening geospatial-related research and innovation centers, some just blocks away from this new campus. Industry leaders are investing in the geospatial future of the region with the new facilities and hiring initiatives. And the nation's largest gathering of geospatial intelligence stakeholders will be held right here in St. Louis in 2023 and 2025. The new locations put NGA in the heart of a community of outstanding academic institutions and industries to achieve its mission. And we are excited to work with NGA to build up the industry and develop the geospatial workforce of the future. Investing in our workforce and meeting the needs of Missouri employers has been a major focus of our administration. We are committed to doing all that we can do to skill up our workforce, support the geospatial industry, and help NGA fulfill its mission in its next 100 years in our state. We have some of the hardest working, most talented individuals in the nation right here in Missouri. And by working together, I truly believe we can create the strongest, most competitive workforce in the nation and fill the jobs of the future. To the NGA, the local and state partners, thank you for your hard work to make this possible. We appreciate your commitment and support and commitment to the St. Louis and the state of Missouri. I also want to thank the congressional delegations here today for your support for making this happen. Without your support on the federal level, this wouldn't be possible in the states, and I want to make sure to say I thank you so much for that. And for you men and women that are in uniform here today, thank you for your service every day. The highest honor I ever had was serving in the United States military. To be up here today in front of you. It is an honor and privilege to be up here to speak today on the behalf of the NGA, St. Louis, and the state of Missouri. Thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Our next speaker is the Acting Director of National Intelligence, the Honorable Joseph Mcguire.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be with you. Governor, you welcomed me to Missouri. I've been here quite a few times before, but laying in a cornfield shooting snow geese, it's just kind of nice to be inside of a tent, dressed up a little bit differently than I normally am. but it's wonderful to be back. At the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, we have long realized that the future of the intelligence community really relies on three principles. First, transparency. Second, strengthening existing partnerships. And number three, building new partnerships. NS2 is designed to lead us into that future. It's a revolutionary approach, and we could not be much more excited about it. This facility is the first in the intelligence community with unclassified spaces specifically designated for producing analysis based on open source imagery and intelligence. This reflects the growing importance of unclassified imagery and much of the world-class analysis that NGA does. In these spaces, we will increase the unclassified information and intelligence that we produce, but reducing the amount of time that it takes to do it. Furthermore, we are absolutely committed to sharing that intelligence with expanding our partnerships in the private sector, in state and local governments, and also with our partners and allies abroad. N2W will enable amazing things to happen, but it will be the people of the National Geospatial Agency that will make it happen, operating in this facility, who will produce the vital intelligence to our policymakers and what they need to make important decisions for our nation. It is our people that are our most vital resource, and this facility will give them the environment that they need to succeed. It will empower them to do their best work and provide timely intelligence that our consumers need in an increasingly complex world that keeps changing at an ever-fast pace. N2W, like the city we were in, will be a vital partner in accomplishing NGA's mission to know the Earth, show the way, and understand the world. And speaking of partners, I would be remiss in my duties if I did not highlight two partners that have been indispensable in making this project a reality: the great state of Missouri and the great city of St. Louis. NGA has been in St. Louis for a long time, but hand in hand, NGA and St. Louis are evolving, remaking themselves with an eye on the future. This city is growing as a technology hub for the Midwest, and the United States intelligence community is proud to contribute to this city's growth as a center for new ideas and technology development. Governor Parson, Senator Blunt, Chairman Schiff, Congressman Clay, Mayor Closen, and all other elected officials, on behalf of the United States intelligence community, I want to thank you for making this day possible. The American people expect the United States intelligence community to keep them safe, and I firmly believe that this facility will enable us to do just that. Once again, thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Director Mcguire. Next, please welcome United States Senator for the state of Missouri, Senator Roy Blunt.
Well, what a great day to be here, and Admiral Sharp, glad you're here. Your two predecessors, Director Cardillo and Director Long, were incredibly important in getting us to where we are today. Governor, you and Governor Nixon both very supportive. The state actually came up with the money to put this property together at a time that it seemed like that might be pretty difficult to do, and also it responded to free property across the river, and we certainly wouldn't have wanted to be there today instead of here. In fact, Congressman Clay and I might not have been invited to be there today, but we are delighted to be here, I will tell you that. Director Mcguire, your help, and Dan Coates. I called Director Coates a number of times during this process and said, now, are you sure you have all the information you need to have to understand this is a top-of-line issue? I haven't seen Mayor Slay today, but I went to see Mayor Slay 10 years ago and said, Mayor, this facility is going to have to go somewhere. It's been mentioned that NGA's been here for 70 years, but actually the mapping facility started in 1840 at that location, and a couple of the buildings actually date back to about 1840, and the others date back to 1950 and 1970. All of our considerations for safety and security were different in 1950 and 1970 than they are today. I said, Mayor, this is going to have to be somewhere. We want to be sure and keep it in Missouri, but I think you and I want to be sure and keep it in St. Louis if we can as well. And Otis Williams stepped up, did his part of helping work with the community. I went to see the Alderman, Lewis Reed, about the same time that I went to see Mayor Slay, and said that there's an opportunity here that we don't want to miss. And I think today we recognize that opportunity. We celebrate that opportunity. Congressman Clay and I have worked together on this. We decided early that this was the site that made the most sense. And I think we want to look forward to what can happen and how it makes even more sense for the community. You know, at full force, General Semonite will talk later about his responsibility to build this facility, but there'll be about 1,100 people working here. And that $1.7 billion that will be spent on this facility multiplies a number of times just during the construction itself. But it doesn't stop at the construction. You know, that $250 million payroll, annual payroll, that will come to this facility every day will reverberate throughout the economy. Quicker, I think, than we would anticipate, hopefully as quick as the mayor and I talked about this morning. We'll see all the service facilities that respond to that. The grocery stores, the service stations, the dry cleaners, the child care facilities that wouldn't be here otherwise. There are many jobs beyond the NGA jobs that will occur right here because we're here today. And this project starts today. Grocery stores, I went to the opening of the first full-service grocery store in North St. Louis in 50 years, about 3 months ago. I don't think if this project wouldn't have been on the table that grocery store would have opened its doors. The governor mentioned the National GEOINT convention, be here 2 of the next 5 years. And this is part of our economy that's growing beyond anything I would have anticipated 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. It's part of our economy that's growing in a way that can look at the resources that are here, the graduate school resources, the non-classified space that Admiral Mcguire mentioned, the Springfield facility, the Springfield, Virginia facility that is the NGA East, only slightly bigger than this facility, was designed at a different time. And so it wasn't designed with 40% of the space unclassified. Now that doesn't mean anybody can walk in that wants to, but it does mean our collaborative partners can be there. It does mean that Director Cardillo's decision to look at what was commercially available and take more advantage of that than we ever had before it continues to grow as those collaborative partners can actually be part of the facility. As graduate students could be part of the facility in a way they wouldn't be able to be otherwise. I think the potential for that incredibly growing part of our economy, that whether you're in a driverless car or you're using GPS or your telephone's keeping track of where you are all the time, not, by the way, necessarily the greatest improvement in the history of humans on this planet, but every time I punch agree to my new telephone update, I'm letting my phone know a lot more stuff than I would like it to know probably, or that I would think it needs to know. But that's the world we live in, and that geospatial, GEOINT expansion will be part of that. I think this is a day when the gateway to the West also becomes the gateway to new kinds of communication. This is a day when we drive around this community 5 years later and 10 years later. This is a good day to capture in your mind where we are today and where I fully believe we will be then. It's a great day for the intelligence defense, the geospatial, the overhead architecture defense of the country. But it's a great day for St. Louis. It's a great day for jobs. It's a great day for this community. I am so pleased to be here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Senator. Please join me in welcoming our next speaker, U.S. Representative William Lacey Clay, Congressman for the state of Missouri.
Thank you and good morning. Admiral Sharp, Chairman Schiff, Governor Parson, Mayor Cruson, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a historic day at the corner of Jefferson and Cass. As North St. Louis becomes the focus of protecting our freedom. Today, as NGA West begins the next chapter in its vital national security mission with the construction of this remarkable $1.75 billion facility, the ammunition that keeps America safe in the 21st century is digital information. The amazing story of how St. Louis won the competition for the new NGA West headquarters, which will be the largest single federal government investment in St. Louis history, includes many good partners and some real heroes. And the truth is that no one helped me as much in this venture as my good friend, Senator Roy Blunt. Senator, thank you so much for your friendship and your leadership. And you know, today we've accomplished something that has not been seen in our lifetime. I also want to thank former Mayor Francis Slay. Francis, are you here? Well, he was here early, but thank him and Otis Williams of SLDC for working so hard with us to make NGA West a reality. And I want to thank Alderwoman Tamika Hubbard, Alderwoman Marlene Davis, and Alderman Brandon Bosley, whose wards will be impacted by this project. May also recognize former Director Cordillo. Thank you for your leadership as well as for staying and becoming a St. Louisan. We appreciate you. The entire Board of Aldermen should be congratulated for their unanimous support of this push to win this project, and in particular, Alderman Jeffrey Boyd, the chairman of the Aldermanic Black Caucus, Alderman Joe Rohde, and former alderman who is now our mayor, Lyda Cruson, for their steadfast belief that St. Louis could win this. Thank you, Madam Mayor. You know, and there are also numerous other partners inside and outside of government, beginning with Mr. Paul McKee for having the vision to assemble the 97 acres needed to make this site viable and allow the city of St. Louis to complete this project. Thank you, Paul. Let me take a moment to offer thanks to my good friend, former President Barack Obama and his administration. First, for designating this neighborhood as a choice community, and then for designating North St. Louis as a promise zone. President Obama believed, as I did, that this neighborhood is special and it deserves a chance to make a comeback with a magnificent federal anchor facility like the new NGA. Let me also offer my special thanks and appreciation to my good friend and colleague from California, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Congressman Adam Schiff. Mr. Chairman, when St. Louis's bid to win this project needed your help, you came to St. Louis at my invitation, and you immediately understood and believed in the future of this neighborhood and why NGA belonged here. And I will never forget what you did for St. Louis. You've made a huge difference, and we thank you. Finally, and most importantly, I want to thank the residents of this historic neighborhood. Some of whom have remained here for generations, hoping and praying for a resurgence from the blight and neglect after so many of your neighbors had moved out. You never gave in, you never gave up, and you never lost hope. And today, your prayers have been answered. All right. I also want to recognize and thank the patriotic families and small businesses who were relocated to make this project possible. You have made a major sacrifice, not just for your community, but for our country, and we all honor you. This project symbolizes a beacon of hope because it represents a transformative opportunity. The city of St. Louis must now partner with this community to bring it back by advocating and pushing for the complementary development and vital public services it badly needs and deserves, like affordable housing, like commercial development, new healthcare facility, infrastructure improvements, and enhanced policing that respects and serves the citizen who they are sworn to protect. Let me also commend the National Geospatial-Intelligence Administration and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for thinking outside of the box and approaching this massive project in an enlightened way that not only partnered with the surrounding community during the planning phase, but also ensured that there will be public access to non-classified space in the new headquarters, which will be a great new community asset. I also want to congratulate McCarthy Hitt and the entire design build team for your remarkable vision. I expect you to bring this project in early and under budget, and I'm sure the Army Corps of Engineers will make sure that happens. I also want to thank McCarthy Hitt for your commitment to make certain that the workforce who builds this magnificent facility resembles the community where it is being built. Our schools must also take full advantage of this unprecedented opportunity to connect with the NGA to customize their curriculums, to give young people the knowledge and skills needed to compete for tremendous internships, jobs, and scholarships that the NGA will offer to talented local students. The motto of the National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency is, know the earth, show the way, understand the world. And today, with this magnificent project, the NGA is showing the way towards not just a more secure future for our nation, but towards a new beginning for North St. Louis. And this will transform this community by generating a future of connection, confidence, security, and equal opportunity with the good people who live here and who have always deserved it. This is not only St. Louis's victory, it is theirs too. Thank you so much for this opportunity and getting us to today, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Congressman Clay. Our next speaker is the chairman of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, Representative Adam Schiff.
Good morning. What a pleasure to be with you. Governor Parsons, Senator Blunt, Mayor Cruson, my wonderful colleague Lacey Clay, Directors Mcguire and Sharp, thank you for the invitation to be a part of this historic groundbreaking. I'm excited to be here today, not only because of what N2W will mean for modernizing the intelligence community, but also because of what it means for the community of St. Louis. When NGA was considering sites for this new campus, then Director Cardillo had to consider first and foremost what locations could meet the security and workforce needs of the intelligence community. After NGA had done so, Congressman Lacy Clay and I also urged the director to consider what the project could do to really benefit or revitalize, or as Congressman Clay so eloquently put it, transform a community. And I was very proud to join with Congressman Clay and Senator Blunt in this bipartisan effort to make this phenomenal project possible. N2W is a $2 billion investment in the people of St. Louis, the largest federal investment in the city's history. Just the process of building this campus will bring jobs and investment to the city's myriad small businesses. And once N2W is complete in 2025, it will be a shining example of how the intelligence community will continue to keep America safe in a rapidly evolving strategic environment. The core of N2W is premised on two key principles: big data and collaboration. As the world continues to change and the threats to our nation's security become more complex, we must realize that collaboration across the IC between government and the private sector and with academia is critical to ensuring the nation's security. Further, as imagery data becomes ubiquitous through commercial means or classified ones, we need new and innovative ways to process data so vast quantities of it can be analyzed efficiently and delivered quickly to those who need it, whether it's a scientist trying to mitigate the damages of climate change, an aid worker delivering humanitarian assistance, or a service member fighting on the front lines against ISIS. In that regard, NGA has not only been an analytic organization, but also a pioneer for many of the cutting-edge technologies necessary for the intelligence community of tomorrow, to include data analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Once completed, N2W will provide the tools that will allow it to be a hub of innovation and intelligence fusion. By marrying advanced technical capabilities with a commitment to data sharing, NGA will demonstrate that a more open, collaborative environment is the future of intelligence processing, exploitation, and dissemination. It is why we on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence have been proud to support this endeavor in a bipartisan manner. Let me close with a quote from a man who became famous in my district, but who grew up right here in Missouri. That is Walt Disney. Disney once said, "We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths." That curiosity motivates every intelligence professional, particularly imagery analysts who want to see the deeper story in pictures. I look forward to the new paths down which your curiosity leads all of us. Thank you again, Director Mcguire, Admiral Sharp, and to the men and women of NGA for your service to the nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Schiff. Now, please welcome the mayor of the city of St. Louis, Lyda Krewson.
Good morning. The day is here. We've all been waiting for this day. And I'm so pleased to be with you this morning to celebrate. Thank you, Governor Parson, Senator Blunt, Representative Clay. Thank you, Representative Schiff, for all of your hard work, both in D.C. and in Jeff City. I believe Comptroller Green is here, and I want to thank her for her, there she is right there. I want to thank Comptroller Green for her contribution to making this happen. It would have not happened without you. I also would like to thank Acting Director of National Intelligence, Joseph Mcguire. Thank you for being here, and everyone else here representing NGA, representing our military, representing our national security community. I say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service to our nation and your commitment to our city. On behalf of the city of St. Louis, please allow me to say, welcome to the neighborhood. This is a great day for St. Louis, one that has been several years in the making. This project is transformative for our city, creating thousands of construction jobs, forging new relationships with our community and with our local schools, bringing new business, business development, and infrastructure improvements, and catalyzing a geospatial ecosystem that is driving the creation of new startups, building new connections with our academic institutions, and building new connections with existing economic sectors. While we are here to look forward to and welcome our newest neighbor here to St. Louis Place, I also want to acknowledge all the hard work that it took to get to this day. In 2016, NGA announced its record of decision to build its new West Campus where we stand today. Since that time, we've worked hard to prepare this site to become NGA's new home. 27 city blocks were cleared. Over 60,000 archaeological artifacts were uncovered. 830,000 tons of dirt were removed. Over 30,000 cubic yards of streets and alleys were removed. And all this work was done with nearly 40% minority-owned and 45% women-owned contractor participation. That looks like our community. Beyond the borders of this site, invaluable contributions were made by Project Connect and its partners. Hundreds of residents and businesses within the 8 Project Connect neighborhoods participated in the effort to coordinate with 20 city and regional agencies and 3 federal agencies to ensure that this site will benefit the adjacent neighborhoods, the city, and the region. So many people have helped us get here, but I want to take a moment to recognize a few people whose hard work and commitment have brought us here to this moment. Let me start by saying thank you to the residents of St. Louis Place and the other neighborhoods in the Project Connect community. Old North, Jeff Vanderloo, Carr Square, Columbus Square, Hyde Park, Downtown West, and the near North Riverfront. We've asked a lot of you, and you've been great partners. Thank you. Let me also extend a huge debt of gratitude to my predecessor, Mayor Francis Slay. I think most of us remember the front page story. In fact, there's a tiny picture of it in your program today of the famous thumbs up photo on the front page of the Post-Dispatch that told everyone NGA was staying in St. Louis. But few people at that time knew all the hard work he and his team had put in before that thumbs up picture day. And lastly, let me extend my utmost thank you to Otis Williams. Many of you know Otis, but Otis Williams and his team, literally we would not be here today had they not done the work, the hard work to deliver this site. Otis, thank you. He's shy. There's honestly no way we would be here without Otis and his tireless team putting all the pieces together. So we stand here today speaking with one voice to welcome NGA to our neighborhood and to express our hopes for the future that we'll share together moving forward. I look forward to helping to meet your mission, NGA, for our future. Thank you. God bless America. God bless the city of St. Louis.
Thank you, Mayor Cruson. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Commanding General of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Lieutenant General Todd Semonite.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to collaborate with you today at this momentous groundbreaking event. It's events like this that highlight partnerships in expanding one of the world's most innovative geospatial communities into the St. Louis area. And thank you to our elected officials for your continued support of this important project. Governor Parson, Senator Blunt, Chairman Schiff, Mayor Cruzen, Representative Clay, Director Mcguire, and all of the other distinguished officials. A special thanks, Bob, to you and the NGA team. It is truly a pleasure to work with NGA again. When I was a division commander several years ago, I was at the groundbreaking of NGA East, and then a couple years later at the ribbon cutting. And I'm glad to be able to pull another great building in the NGA portfolio. And ma'am, a special thanks to all the people in St. Louis for your belief in something as important as our nation's security is supporting the NGA. So NGA West is a mega project jointly managed by the NGA, the Army Corps of Engineers, and the United States Air Force. Just again, a couple highlights: 1.7 billion, 97-acre site, 712,000 square foot office building, supporting parking garages, visitors center, remote inspection facility, access control points, and a beautiful landscaping plan that goes around the whole thing. This is a secure, flexible, cutting-edge facility with the space that really does facilitate this information sharing and collaboration among NGAs and St. Louis's gifted GIS experts. The design anticipated future cyber and geospatial challenges of the 21st century, as well as employing innovative design and construction techniques. There are projected to be as many as 1,100 construction workers on the site and during the peak activity. And again, those construction workers are going to inject millions of dollars into the local economy. Small business is important to the Corps of Engineers. 28% of this work to construct the new complex will be contracted out to small business, and there are 5 separate facilities which will also be small business to be able to support the design-build contract. It's been an absolute model project to date with outstanding vertical alignment. NGA brought the Corps into the process early, which allowed the spectrum of USACE expertise from day one to provide input at the earliest stages of this extremely complex state-of-the-art project development. The NGA and USACE team held more than 60 meetings with the community since 2016, including reoccurring meetings in the 8 North St. Louis neighborhoods. We've assembled an absolute world-class team of proven builders. Our experts from the Kansas City Corps of Engineer districts, our contractors from McCarthy-Hitt, and the talented NGA team, an expert team that will turn blueprints into reality. In summary, this year the Corps is executing a massive $58 billion portfolio of programs and projects in concrete and steel. But I tell our guys every single day, the most important thing we build is partnerships and relationships. We look forward to continued relationship with you as we build this state-of-the-art facility, a world-class complex that many of you can be proud of for years to come, and to help provide national security capability for this great country. This is the Army Corps of Engineers, one of our most important projects, and we're excited to start turning dirt, erecting steel, Army strong, building strong.
Thank you, General Semonite. And now, please welcome the Director of the next NGA West Program Office, Mrs. Susan Pullman.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining NGA on this historic occasion. All of our previous distinguished speakers have covered a lot of ground about the importance of this project, and it's just about time to start the dig. But first, could I ask all of you to indulge me a little bit? I would like the members of the NGA PMO and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers PMO to please stand, and let's give them a big round of applause, please. When it comes to getting this contract awarded, really heavy lift. And these are the folks that got us there, many of them working the last 5 years or even longer. So I really appreciate all of your efforts. You all are the ones who make me look good every day, so I appreciate that. Along with McCarthy-Hitt, Patriot Group International, the City of St. Louis, other government and industry partners, and those we have today and those we will have in the future, we will turn NGA's long-term vision into a reality. When we are finished in 2025, we will look back and marvel how this team transformed the 97 acres behind me into a beautiful facility that truly positions NGA to secure our nation tomorrow and continue the many decades of the presence of this important mission right here in the heart of America. We are also very proud to work alongside our neighbors here in St. Louis Place and some of the surrounding neighborhoods to write a new chapter that is rich with the history of this neighborhood and its wonderful people. This project has become the story of bringing people together to make this vision a reality. As Admiral Sharp emphasized, the vision for NGA of a new space with new tools that will make NGA more agile and more responsive for our nation's security. It's also the vision of a burgeoning St. Louis academic and industry community built around the ever-increasing need for geospatial data, and the vision of a beautiful, revitalized neighborhood whose young people will be an important part of our workforce of the future. The team represented here is dedicated to making these visions a reality. So I say, let's put some shovels in the ground and get this show on the road.